Welcome, dear hearts. This is Karina Shah. I wish you a beautiful and blessed day and bringing forth the grace in this moment. As I offer up some messages, divine emanations, Mana Diksha, grace of the heart, and sacred sound, as we meet this next 999 gateway, where we are traversing great transmutational, transformational frequencies, waves upon waves of time dissolving. I can tell you, it is simple to align, to be in the present, but it's not always easy. Simple, yes. All it requires of us is the opportunity to invite in all that is offered to us. To let the invitation in this moment reveal what is so ever present, so available to us if we allow it. As the gift that rises from the omnipresent field of the love of all that is so enriched, enlivened, and edifying with a profound primordial essence that is constantly inviting us to be bathed, nurtured, sustained, that our bodies of light are fed with that nurturance, that we can truly be in that deep felt sense, embodying the grace of each moment as an eternity. And these words that flow through, and the voice that offers them to you, the very essence and presence of this vehicle, this being, is a gateway. Throughout this existence and time that I have been here, I have offered up this presence, this being, this life, as a gift, as I acknowledge that gift, a gift in service, to bring to you the gift of your being, of us all. Because when we choose to acknowledge the gift of who we are, we can open up and receive what is available. The certainty and the trust that is required, the courage to stand firm in the flowing essence, knowing that that vibration and frequency is always being so finely attuned. If we tune inward to the love, to the purest of pure, there it is, residing. It's always, always there, inviting us in. Like a long-lost traveler on a path, discovering in the center of a deep, dark, primordial forest a beautiful space, a temple, a home, with lights on and warmth radiating from it. The traveler traverses and enters to find the table set, filled with the most divine foods of light, invited in by the very presence of the heart of that which is, to sit at the table and to be served by the love of all that is, to be given the gifts of spirit, the drink of light, where that thirst so longing is quenched, the cup, our very own presence, brought to the lips to nourish and cherish this divine physical form. And therein the invitation to invite in all aspects of being that perhaps in our space of separation we have deemed unworthy. They are sitting at that table, held in the finest of a feast for this beloved presence. There, chairs once emptied, empty now, one by one filled with aspects of self, our loss, our fear, our doubt, our separation, our shame, our concerns, one by one, tentatively approaching the table, looking into the eyes of thee and asking to be welcomed back, wholly, completely, totally, embraced back in, nurtured in the harmonizing presence of the love of all that is. One by one, a plate, a bowl, sitting there before this aspect and fed with the light of all creation, the light of all dimensions. This loving nurturance brought in through the omnipresent field of the love of all that is. Held and nurtured, and as that being aspect begins to eat of the light and take in the nurturance, all the bodies of being welcome in this space. There, off in the corner, out of the shadows, come all these disparate aspects, wishing to return home. And there you in your conscious awareness nod as they enter and sit. And there, around the table, we begin to witness and see what we have devalued, what we have disavowed, what we have disdained and sent away, cut off. And there in that moment, what is held in each aspect of that being, of deity itself, returns home to the table of the divine beloved of life itself, the very nurturance of all being. Could you sit at that table and invite back in every aspect that you have pushed away, sent away, for fear of being seen in your totality, in your wholeness, in your smallness, in your emptiness, in your loss and separation and vulnerability, in all innocence, returning to the very home of the indwelling, to the master that sits, the very masterful presence, the masterpiece of your being, mastering all the pieces to become what we already are, and gazing into the eyes of each of those aspects of the creation of separation. We see the light pouring through, the humanity and the divinity offered to us through that exchange. And one by one, returned fully, realized whole in presence. Each one bringing a little gift to be opened, to be seen, to be cherished, to be realized. That in judgment and separation, when we disavow, when we disregard, when we dismiss, when we send away, when we judge, when we deem something unworthy, or we are told it is unworthy, and therefore we separate. From that moment, brought back, so that nothing can ever be lost, for it is always there, ever present, and brought back in, fully embraced. This is the food of love. This is the food of light. This is the very sustenance and nurturance that we take in from the love of all that is. This is grace in the highest and the deepest, saying grace over our meal of plenty, abundance, the riches of the Spirit. And oh, how we have been tested for the efficacy of our being. Is this the truth that we can welcome home? As all of that essence in each aspect dissolves back into the one, we can appreciate how the distancing from that has caused us to create realities and situations in our life. But these are all gifts of the Spirit, of the oneness of all that is, bringing itself, making itself known through the eyes of our disillusion and our desolation. There is never, ever a moment where you are not fully loved. There is always, always an ever-present, guiding presence. Some have called the Oversoul. Some have called it in many names. Guide, guardian, our personal expression and a divine expression, a universal expression, and the expression of all oneness. Wholeness in the unifying power of each harmonic tone, singing and ringing together, returning and tuning to moments of deep, awakened grace. And this is what I bring to you now. How blessed it is to be in your presence and to be allowed to see you in all your glory, in all your greatness, in all your deepest vulnerability and loss and separation, all together. Merging and emerging, immersing and dissolving, as each tonality and frequency returns to the great harmonic tone. This is the blessing I often offer to you now. Taking this sound as food of the heart, food of the soul. Sit at the table of the Divine Beloved, the feast of your own heart presence, and invite back in. Feel the invitation offered. Invite back in. Enjoy a meal and a feast. The starving ends when the soul is replenished. The thirst dissolves as our seeking and searching is complete. And we drink from the cup of divine presence, taking in that dispensation of the waters of all being, the wine of the song of love, the pure elixir of being, the distilled presence of what's called the Soma, or the gift of the dream time offered in our heart. And we eat of the sacred foods that hold the purest frequencies of divine presence, cultivated and grown from the very essence of our divine light, served by the love of all that is. Your heart is a bud in the light of all creation, blossoms that bloom. May all radiant being, all magnified divinity, all beings dwelling in light and sentient presence, the sovereign nature rises up to meet the noble grace of the cause, and the two merging as one in the divine wisdom, the omnipresence, the omniscience, and omnipotence merging in the omni-fields of sweet, sweet presence. I could tell you 1,000 things in 1,000 ways of how to do something to make your life better. But that would only diminish and pale in comparison to simply breathing, being, and being in the simple divinity nature of the nurture of this moment. It is an organic process. The seed of all being sits in the heart, at the seat of the soul, on the throne of your heart, there in the flame of love, wisdom, and power. It's a seed that was planted eons ago in many, many incarnations, and now it is germinating and bringing forth the sacred gnosis, or the mystery of creation. And in the language of tongues, what is known as the green language, or the language of light, I bless this moment. Te wate yamaha na toate. We are grace incarnate. Shritayam, 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 Eloha, Elohim, Eloha, Elohim. We who are one salute thee, O great being of light. Anu, 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 Namo, 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 Deus, Deus, Ananda, Anu, 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 Namo, 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 Deus, Deus, Ananda. May you be blessed in the blessedness of these blessings. I thank you, dear hearts. So be it, and so it is. I am Karina Shah, Grandmother El Shah. Enjoy this moment, this meal that we have shared together. May the grace of all that is fill you with the presence available in this moment, receiving in this invitation now. So be it, and so it is.